MOY data. With the daily quick
It's just
checks
me.
and the multi-skill checks and how best to use them.
Okay, so hi, I'm Erin. It's nice to meet all of you. I just wanted to, I put together just a very simple slide deck just for talking points, but I mean, I wouldn't mind if you want to start with questions or if we just kind of get into it. It's totally up to you. I want this time to be valuable for you, of course. So you've been using it all year, correct? Okay, and how do you feel like it's going? You can be honest. I want to hear what you have to say.
It's going good, right? I think we wish that we could see exactly where the students were struggling with the data.
Yes.
Because we
Okay.
can see the yellow, we can see who's red, we can see who's green,
Mm-hmm.
but the ones that are scoring yellow or red on their skill checks, like we cannot see like
So
exactly where they're struggling.
they have changed that.
Good.
If you go, so I'm gonna, oh, okay, I have the slide deck, but let me see. Okay, so let me go all the way through. Now, I don't have my computer connected, so I want you to bring yours up. So go into your student groups. Go into your reports.
How do we get there?
So this right here. On in your lessons page, when you go to your main page, you're gonna click on reports. You've been able to go in there yet. Much.
See this?
Okay, so click view report.
I've never seen
What mine-
Pico.
And then
That's for your cumulative. So at the top, you have to be under cumulative.
We haven't done our.
Ready? We've only done the first, yeah, we'll do ours
I found
tomorrow.
that last week, you know, so I was trying to find something.
Okay.
So if you keep scrolling. When you do it, it'll have how Angelina did, and it'll tell you, did you spell grass, GRAS, did you spell it
Okay.
GWASS?
Okay.
Like, it'll give you examples, and it'll look like that.
But not for each.
Cumulative.
I can't find it for each lesson,
That's
and
what
I
was
think
the
that's what y'all are wanting.
Yeah.
Skill set. Yeah, this
See,
is.
ours
this is
doesn't look
always
like what
that,
you have up
But
there.
that's cumulative, that's what we only twice a
Yeah,
year.
this is cumulative. I stumbled upon it last
yeah,
night.
so it is the
Oh, that
cumulative,
is
it
it.
won't, and so it'll tell you which
Okay,
one.
I literally never got a pop-up that said this was
Yes.
available, and I know I already logged in this week, so. Go there.
Oh, yeah.
Goes
So-
in, but this was-
Yeah.
Maybe not her. That would see exactly. Oh, because readiness working on you said go check.
Yeah, we take ours tomorrow.
Okay, scroll down, but scroll down.
On the field check, it said she had.
Is there anything
Are you
here,
on
like
cumulative?
underneath?
No, that's
Like
you.
that, like that? Oh, right.
But it's not, it doesn't detail for like multi-skill check, let's still just give them.
Well, last time we had the- it still looked like that for now. And then it went further down. It's really what it happened.
Yeah.
I was-
Self-elective student and then. So if you do field check, it should, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that makes sense.
Do I know what you missed on?
She's got like some of the. She's missing a one letter. This is like, yes, like super bright backwards.
If we want, we can use one of their screens to project too, if that would help.
And, but.
My screen was different, I don't actually have there, so.
Yeah, you'll have your tape.
Yes.
I have your team. I do.
But, Kinder and first are looking good, since we haven't done our cumulative.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, which one?
We're 001.
Oh, you have your team?
Yeah, when I did that pilot thing, it's still on here.
Oh.
Well.
Have it in your class.
the middle. I just don't have that thing, I think. But I have the program. I have my computer.
So that's.
Yeah, yeah, that's my screen. Better. She's looking at this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right down here.
So what about this one? Like you can't see anything for that one?
So the data show is from a different.
Oh, so you can't see that.
So if you go
Whatever that
to,
means.
go back to ready. Cumulative.
I'm at, go back, Kelly.
We're looking at Kelly's screen up there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Down here. So this one down here.
Okay.
So the middle year.
you can go to beginning of year. You have to get the beginning.
It's not in there.
We only have middle.
Yeah, they haven't given their.
Yeah.
Go check
We
it.
gave ours tomorrow.
We do ours tomorrow.
Okay, so then this is what you're gonna see essentially is letter group 1. That's how this is the correct word and that's how she spelled it. So that's just like part of it. It won't necessarily dissect every single skill check. You know, there's 5 questions. And so if you go to the cumulative skill check report, if you've done middle of the year. Done middle of the year?
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
okay. So then hers shows what the word is supposed to be and how she spelled it. Or how they all spelled it on here.
But this is just on like the
It's only twice.
so they don't have
it for the other stuff.
So the skill check
Yeah.
isn't going to pick apart it every single day, which would be, you know, also a lot of, I mean, it'd be good data, but would also be like a lot every day. So
What about the multi-skill checks?
the multi-skill check. Let me see if we can here.
That would.
That would be helpful.
There's nothing there. We don't really know what do we do? It has it broken up by lessons, but it doesn't have like specific. Okay. And then are y'all starting? You never complete your skill check?
Yeah.
Oh, same thing. Or they want you to post it. Sit on it for like. Zero. Yeah. So y'all concerned. Second's a different.
Let me just make sure.
Yeah, you get you down there.
Nope.
Don't, there's a so for an hour.
So these kids have been very good and very diligent about, we're doing it every day.
The
They're doing
data.
Scripted lessons, we're doing trying to get the skill checks done
Mhm.
every day with every kid. We're not 1-to-1, so that's kind of been a little bit of a struggle. But really when it comes to the data, so when I was
Brian, woo.
look at that.
The GT.
No, this is amazing that.
They are mostly.
This kid.
We need to go.
This one, he fights for everything. I have to take it out to.
I'm trying to think.
But
So-
we also have standard space report cards.
Yes.
So they, obviously we have Green Horizons this year. We're spending a good, at least 45 minutes a day to an hour dedicated to this whole process. So we're not doing a lot of other phonics activities. But one of their struggles has been, okay, but how do I know if this kid can blend?
Mhm.
How do I know what letters and sounds? How do I know if he, understands diagrams and all these things that we're reporting on for standard based grading, spelling? How do I know if he is spelling?
So you're going to have to, as a teacher in small group, you're going to have to check. You're going to have to use the so you have where you take the data from the skill check and then you also have the observation. So during your small groups, you're going to have to, because you know where the the transfer routines in your lesson is going to break it down by needs support, needs practice, and needs enrichment. Okay, so all in there is what you're doing with your small group. As you're doing your small group, you're making observations. Ooh, this one's not getting blends yet. Here's the skill check today that they took on blends. They got 100%, but when they're with me, they're not secure. So you're making those observations in small group. The data is your daily skill check is going to give you some data. It's 5 questions on the skill you taught that day. So it should give you some good information. If they got a 40%, then you're going to pull them into your small group and be like, okay, let me check. Let me look. Let's practice. Let's write. Let's do dictation. Did they get it? Are they secure here? So, the daily thing is going to have to be you and the skill check, because the skill check is giving you some really good data, and it's getting them to practice what you taught that day. And so then, you know, the cumulative will tell you how they broke it down a little bit. Maybe we'll work toward even, I'm writing it down, but even the multi-skill check to see how they did on that and what they're missing. I thought that was on there, but I'm gonna double check and get back to you. But, you know, like, if you are doing your groups every day and you're following the transfer routines, it should give you an idea, you know, oh, they're not quite there yet, I'm gonna work on this, or do I need to reteach the whole group because they're just all real low? I don't know. So, but now, I mean, they have added to the class reports, so you can see those. Is this one? Oh.
Hers is
I'm messing it
connected.
up.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
yours is, okay. So yeah, if you just scroll up. No,
Oh,
I
oh,
wanted,
okay,
I wanted
sorry.
to see
Oh, you
yours.
wanted-
I was trying to like
My
do
bad,
this,
my
but
bad.
yours is, I'm sorry.
Let me fix that.
So I guess when you take that middle of the year, they'll give you some information. Okay,
Okay,
so then it'll eventually, and you know, again, like, look here at Angelina, I mean, it's telling you some things, like, she's 83% in alphabet, phonemic awareness was real low, and so you have to see, why is that, you know?
yes.
Because sometimes it's not accurate, sometimes they rush through, or they guess, or they don't feel like it that day, or they're
Yes.
tired or sick, and so that's when you essentially have to pull them, you know, as
Yes.
teachers, you have to, like, why is this, and you have to just double check. So then you, I mean, that gives you some. The middle of the year will break it down further down below. So that's the most recent test they took. That's the most recent score, because you could, if they were in other classes, or, you know, that the new feature of reassign the skill check. Have you seen that, where you can reassign?
No, I have not.
Saw that pop up this
For an individual student?
Uh-huh.
Oh, how do you do that?
So
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I wish I could
So
connect
just
my
a minute,
computer.
Okay.
Can I
Yes.
use yours?
Yes, okay.
Does the middle
So-
of the year give you the score like we did at the beginning of the year?
So here
So I
it
can
is
see
right
if
here.
they Improved in phonemic awareness?
So the only reason you would want to reassign a skill check. Now, we were listening, right? Like, what if kids are absent? What if, that didn't seem right. They got red, but I know they know it. If you want to give it to them again. If your data doesn't match up with the child, you can reassign it and sit by them. If a student was absent, you can reassign the skill. You want to teach it first, obviously, and then do the skill check. But here is where you can reassign the skill check. And I kind of wanted you to play in here. So if you're in there, go ahead and get in there. And then whatever lesson you're on, are you on 12?
Yeah, we're on, yeah.
So if you reassign, if you click in there, click the arrow, what lesson were you on? You said 12. Did you?
We're on multi-skill check.
64.
Yeah, 64, because it's
Oh,
multi-skill check
oh.
12, sorry. So
64 is your
We
lesson.
just did 64 yesterday.
So you tap on the lesson. And then, let's see. Now, do you have no data because they were absent? Are they scoring in the red? They need support? Do they just need practice? You probably wouldn't do this for needs enrichment. There'd be really no reason to. So no data, it pulls her kids up. She's gonna click on one of them. You have to click Save Changes, and then it will reassign to them. So, again, you can reassign to kids who are absent, you know, it is a daily skill check, and if you are really on that and doing it every day, you might want that information. Just know too, that it's on top of like your observation in small group. You might have to reteach the absent kids in small group if they're a little farther behind.
So we do the skill check and then we check no data. But what if I have like the one that needs support? Then
Mhm.
I'm going to have them redo it. And I click on them.
Yeah.
And then I click on the person on the right.
Yeah,
You
well,
can-
no,
You can deselect.
it's going to
You hit the
automatically.
It'll let
Yes.
you choose which you click the drop down.
Okay.
It's selected all students, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you can click on the student, yes.
So if they retake it, does it kind of erase their original score?
So the asterisk is going to tell you the most recent score. So I think it's going to replace it. But if you click on the score itself, if you click on the score itself, yes, oh, okay. Then it should tell you all of their scores, all of their test scores. So I'm going to go to the daily skill. And up here, it's also kind of cool. That gives you like this status of where all your kids are as a whole by lesson, your class average. Then down here is where your students are going to be. So if you click here and you tap on their score, there's their assignment and she got 80%. Now, if they had taken it 2 times, you'll see both their scores on there. And then I'll have the asterisk with the most recent.
So that might be easier than we were talking, last coach we talked about assigning groups. I know it was assigning groups, but then we couldn't find that button where you could redeliver different lessons to a select group of kids. So this might be much easier than the way that we
Yes.
were trying to do it.
Well, because, yeah.
You only assign the grade level quick checks, or if they wanted to, if first grade wanted to assign some quick checks from kinder just to get some information. I think that-
No, it has to be the skill check that you did with the lesson, that connects to the lesson. And then, then with that data, you need to figure out, I mean, you could then go to the kindergarten lesson, like, this is where they're at. They still need consonant X. So I'm gonna go to kinder. I'm gonna do that lesson with my small group of kids or my one student. Yeah, yeah.
So, how important then is the quick check every day for every student?
I would say like, I mean, if it's a brand new skill that they don't know, it's probably beneficial. If it's like a review and, you know, it's not necessarily, again, your observation as a teacher is going to tell you a little bit more than their skill check. It's just another thing, but it's automatic. When you're done with the lesson, it's going to automatically give it. Now, if they're gone or they're sick or whatever on vacation, I wouldn't get real stressed about, doing the skill check per se. You're just going to want to reteach in small group and see if they have it. It's a lot of pieces to kind of keep together, but
That's kind of was my question too, because I have one child who, like at the very bottom, you can see she doesn't really do it very often because she's struggling, it's very frustrational for her. And she's way behind grade level. So giving her that skill check, it's to be quite honest, it's almost a waste of time because she's just frustrated with it. So do you recommend that I do not do the skill check for her and go to her level and pull her at that time? I think that's kind of like, I don't know if that's where y'all are at, but I'm making them all do it. And like she won't even do it. So if she's not doing it, that's okay for her?
yeah, this is really just data for you, for your kids. This isn't your you're testing for this district, right? This is just for you and where your kids are. If that's super stressful for her and, meltdowns and things, then yeah, it's not worth it. You could sit with her, you said her, right?
Yes.
One-on-one and you listen, the headphones are off, and then you can guide her
Okay.
through that. Oh, what do you think? Okay, tap here, just for you and her to do it together one-on-one. If it's whole group and she's struggling, yeah, don't stress yourself out.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, exactly.
And I think that's part of the struggle, even with kindergarten.
Yes.
We have kids who, they don't know letters and sounds yet, and we're
Mhm.
talking about a struggling population. Our population is large, but then they get to their skills check and the activities and it's CBC words, well, they're just dragging around.
Yeah.
Or they're just.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been the question lately is, okay, is this, 15 minutes that I have them in the station to do that, is that the best
Mm-hmm,
use of time? for that
Exactly.
student?
exactly.
We've been very regimented, and I think we've learned from that and like, okay, well, maybe this isn't the best course for every student.
Mm-hmm,
Certainly you're on grade level, you're just below grade level, you're above grade level. They can, because we have our devices in the station, they're not, second grade has 1-to-1, so everybody takes.
Right.
Time.
Right.
They're not 1-to-1, so they're also relying on 5- and 6-year-olds to do it independent of the
Exactly.
teacher. So, I think that y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that seems like one of the struggles lately
Yes.
that we're.
So what you could do too, in kindergarten is not have whole group skill check. You could go right in, I don't know how your day is divided up, but like if you wanted to start with groups, let's say, not whole group skill check, but you want to pull your group of kids over, they do the skill check with you. So you're like behind them, kind of like this, like, what are you doing? Let's see. Oh, and kind of listen, maybe have their headphones off and have them down so you can hear what they're hearing and support them in that. If you want to get a skill check done, okay, what do you think? Well, wait for me. I'm right here. Maybe it's 2 kids at a time. Getting them used to how you do it and what it looks like and the importance of it, like, okay, oh, you did amazing. Maybe tomorrow you can try by yourself or see how it goes, because it gives them some practice on the skill once they take the post check. It's a little bit of practice anyway. It's not the end all be all. If they're, just it's not making sense for them, you can do all of those teachings in small group. It gives you all the things that you can do to teach. But maybe you have a new skill that you taught and you really want to sit. I know as a teacher, it's hard when everybody else is kind of around, but you could pull them for a group. They're working on this, they're working on this, they're working on this, then you rotate. Do you guys rotate? Yeah, and then bring that next group over and do it with them, and then they go do their transfer book or whatever they're doing. Kinder might not have that yet. Do you have your transfer books yet? You should, right?
Yeah, before we forget, so that was one thing Kinder had brought up. We were rocking and rolling with the transfer book.
The
Actually,
second one.
they liked it a lot better than any other grade level, to be honest. And then they got to the second one. and said, "Holy
It's
cow."
way.
The second,
Like
Transfer book.
second transfer book, there's, yeah.
oh, okay.
Like, huge jump.
So what lesson are they on?
Right now, we're
60.
it's building 69, 59.
Yes.
We just finished 68.
Okay,
But when I think it was lesson 60 is when it jumped. No, it went from like 3 sentences to
Now
3
we're-
paragraphs.
Yes.
oh my
So
gosh.
we
Yeah.
put those in like a
Okay.
frequency station for higher kids to do.
Yeah. It was a big jump.
That's
They love it.
interesting.
They love it.
The whole page is full of words.
Yeah, it's a
That's a lot.
passage.
Very
It's a
intense.
passage.
Right, right.
Not just a page passage.
Okay, so it'd be more for the
We make it like
enrichment
step by step.
kids.
That's why we.
That's
so if we're
Okay.
copying it, we're putting it in our fluency station for our.
So they still have the transfer page before the passage, right? Where they're sounding out the words and all of
The
that.
pictures are really difficult.
Yeah, the pictures are different.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
Oh, those
It's really.
You have to look.
Yeah.
Well, do you know where to figure them out?
I know, just that they're- Yeah.
No,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
in place to figure them out.
Oh, where did
Well,
I'm gonna just preview like. Okay, when you're on your lesson first front page, lesson summary, scroll down to the bottom. Extended transfer, student transfer book, toes, goats, no. I know, I did that at first too. I'm like, I have no idea what this picture is, but it's in here.
For you to
Click on a lesson, like preview it.
And I did say like for a lot of low ones, they get very frustrated because the pictures on there, when they click on it, there is a lag from what they're, for the computer to tell them, this is that. There is a lag. The kids need to click and they end up hitting their check to
Oh.
go on and they're getting that wrong. because
Okay.
It is such a lag.
Okay, in the activities in on the software?
Online, yes. Yeah, like in the daily skill check.
It's taking a while, like
Yes,
it's,
there's when
okay.
you Click on the picture there, it's such a lag. They just click it and go.
Mm,
And I've seen them, like, there is a lag between the software saying what that picture is.
okay, I'm gonna, you may already know this from one of the other coaches. But I want you to know, honestly, they really do change things they really listen. And so, you've probably been told that before, but if you go to this question mark down here and share your feedback, please, like I'll write it down, but if you want to click here to share your feedback, say that, say it's lagging in software when the pictures are coming up, and I promise you they will look and they will check that out. But I want you to see that, like if you see any errors or things like that. I mean, please put it in there and be the person, you could tell your coach or, me, but yeah, I mean, I wrote it down, but yes, please put it in there so that they really do look at that.
Put it in there, Brittany.
I also want to show you on this page, just because I know as teachers, you don't have a lot of time to like do a lot of extras, but over here in this folder, have you looked in here yet? The toolkits?
Yes.
Okay, so these are really nice, because there's lesson toolkits that match up with the lessons. And I've said too, like if you can find one of these toolkits that are close to the lesson that you just taught, and maybe you have a guest teacher or a sub, you could print these and give it to them, because it's hard to leave your own devices for them. And I know like maybe you're gone for a week, you need something, and they might not do it the same, but it's like in there, there's also, at the bottom, there's work.
Sorry, it's a
Oh, please.
kind of weird. There it goes.
So if you scroll to the bottom, oh, thank you. There's this part here, the spelling tic-tac-toe, that's essentially for families. They can do this as homework at home. This is nice. You can print that. And then down here, so like for you in small group or a sub, here's what they have to do, after something, after you teach the lesson, right? They can read the sentences, draw a picture, and then here's some more decodable sentences down here. Maybe even for your kinder kids, like if you have taught a lesson, you could even go in here, and you could have them do this.
We were just talking about maybe use that for independent reading, like they
Mhm.
read it and then they have to draw a picture.
And
Yeah, exactly.
Can you go up to the
Yes.
next grade level? Like, can I look at the second grade stuff or? Like
Oh.
if you have a kid that's kind of like to the next grade level, kind of, can I put something like that for them? And
We can also still share the presentation that you did. We have like completely monopolized.
Yeah.
We took over.
Sorry.
Sorry, I don't
For
think
what?
that work was for, I know you have your presentation. I don't want you to
Oh,
think that.
no, I just put that just in case we needed topic ideas.
I was like, you're not gonna have a problem.
Oh,
with it. So
no.
They're like, ready.
That's- I think that's what-
And they want to do it, they want to do
There
it.
will be no crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me move it for you, sorry.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, this is a good time to get you that small group.
Yeah. I was like,
That would be really helpful for my finishers. Kids that everybody reads it.
You're on the- how you got supplemental resources.
She can see grade one.
Oh, how'd you do that?
but is
Went
it just?
to, right here. I just have the multi-skills up right now, but I went to the supplemental and then I went to multi-skills. Let me see.
Oh, I see. The multiple
Oh,
skills.
okay,
You can print
there, okay.
Less-
But I don't
Yeah.
See the toolkit.
Yeah, there's, other resources, so you can print the skill, so like if they're not here or they score a red, you can do this with them. You can do it as a whole group or a small group or one-on-one. That's super helpful too, because sometimes paper and pencil's nice, just because you don't know how they're doing in their software.
Like for weeks and.
Well, that, I mean, I know for y'all, but maybe little quick checks. Yeah. You could just.
Yes, exactly.
You can use the kinder ones for the
Yeah.
that need, like, my little friend that struggles, she could get.
Yeah, so here's letter group 1, and then it's just telling you. And then here's the,
For her fluency, she could use that.
quotable text on it.
That's cool.
With this though, okay.
Holy moly, this is kinder. This is y'all's fluency competition?
That's what we said, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it jumped to.
Oh.
Yeah, we went for like
From
3
like 3
sentences
sentences to
to
that.
Those are like real high.
Yeah.
like a start.
They paid attention.
That is a big jump. I mean, there are kids who could do it, but
That's why I
that's
put it
a
in.
big jump.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna make note of that.
Stamina for that.
Question about
Okay.
rhyming for phoneme commandment, like, where is that?
Yeah.
'Cause, like, we're supposed to, it's on our, it's like an essential standard for us, and, but, and we're following, everything with Fidelity, and we don't know where rhyming is taking place. And that's like an essential standard on our report.
That's where the.
So-
Between, between the data.
Mhm.
Y'all feeling like y'all have enough concrete data.
Yes.
Without making.
This kinder,
But still.
you could
that's
print this little page and put it in your.
Yeah.
Which one? The sentence
Yes,
data?
it is.
The words and
Syllable words.
Yeah.
So
I
if
just
you,
printed it.
From the skills.
so they're just, the rhyming is intertwined throughout the lessons in your PA. But if you go to the toolkit and phonemic awareness, there is a rhyming, like you can, so are you trying to assess them in rhyming or just practice rhyming?
And
Yeah.
it's never like when we're doing our, in the
Oh,
morning, like
Mhm.
it's not in there. Like,
Yeah.
right now, it's, deleting and changing sound, like, I
Mhm.
just haven't seen any kind of writing.
There's no actual like.
of
They
the
would, like, they're
rhyming,
finding
yeah.
teachable moments.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I would do is I mean, it's a little bit, I guess, more work on you. I'll put that in here, like add rhyming, cause and alliteration, I think is important too, but
Like our standards where they have to identify one and then come up with
Okay.
one on their own.
yes.
You
Mhm.
know, but we were hiring for so long. You know, for the first few
Uh-huh.
days of the day, I think we're very much used to that.
Well, and I think even before every lesson, as part of your phonemic awareness, I know it's work on you. I'm gonna put it in here and I'm gonna address that because they have changed, like when you're saying the dictated sentence, they now say add the punctuation, the capitals, but you know, they added that. So maybe, yeah, especially in kinder, we can add that rhyme and alliteration. You might have to, just as a teacher, just for like 1 minute, do some rhyming skills and then do the word. Deleting or segmenting. So you might have to, you know, do that part on your own. Tell, you know, just do the rhyme game, or just tell me what rhymes with bad
And
hat.
when we like, we see, we're like, oh, did y'all hear that? Is that really not?
Uh-huh. Okay, I'll add that, yeah. And then, but yeah, I guess that just gives you ideas, I guess, but that's not what you're asking, so. I'll add that too.
Sorry, it was way at the top. I moved you.
Oh, no, you're fine. Um,
Okay.
I haven't used it. Pretty cool.
Like this.
Like little beans next one.
Oh.
and then have you guys been using have you been using the review and transfer day material?
Yes, yes.
Now, do you use that choice board in there?
Well, parts of it.
Parts of it. I always like to point that out because some people really don't look at it or know it's there. And that gives you also, like, you can do that on review and transfer day. You can also do that for your groups, your small groups. Like this could be independent. Now for kinder especially, you're gonna have to teach it one at a time of like, this is what it means, and then they can do it independent, or it's your enrichment kids. I just like that they're here. You can print them, which I know is kind of a lot of printing, but you could put them in sleeves for reuse. This is a good independent reading with all the games. And then one of your, you know, centers with the decodable books that just shows on the bottom how you can partner read.
Where is it? So we're doing that today, actually. Yeah, and after we finish, I like cut this top off and then I put it in my. So when you go here.
Yeah.
It says transfer.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. And you know, too, like, I don't know if parents, if you have parents that ask for homework, this would be a good homework sheet,
No, that.
too.
No,
I know,
No, this is good Christians.
or spelling.
That,
You're
I'm
saying we
sure
have
that
5
means that's our 5-minute warning.
Yeah.
So any other last questions y'all want to make sure of?
I wanted to, I mean, okay, so I did this lesson and you're not, well, okay. I'll just say I did this lesson today. It was second, third. I watched I know again, you don't have a lot of time, but it kind of tells you the why behind it and how to sometimes teach that lesson. And that's nice, the real-time coaching, if you haven't looked. That's kind of nice to use even in PLC, or if you go over to the graduation cap, it has all these implementation essentials. You know, if you want it on a PLC, maybe you're talking about a lot about data, you know, or whatever else you might wonder about. Cause this, I know you don't have a lot of time for yourself to kind of look, but just so you know, it's there. I don't know. I hope that helps a little bit here. I know it's not gonna break apart every skill, but they've added a little bit more to it. Which is nice. You
Yeah,
can
I
see
mean,
which
getting the
skill.
data from the benchmark.
Yeah, and so once you do that mid-year, you'll be able to see exactly where, but it breaks it down a little bit, which is nice to see. Like this person really needs help with, like maybe Dylan needs a little bit of alphabet practice. He's not secure in his letters. You know, you can see, oh, the red kids, maybe that's your group for phonemic awareness and you're practicing rhyme.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't tell you like what they miss specifically in phonemic awareness, but you can tell in your small group, let's practice rhyme, let's build words, whatever that, or, you know, let's hear the sounds of words, however that is. And then phonics would be the building words. You could pull groups that way on specific skill and need. And then, yeah, when you get that middle of the year, it'll tell you a little bit more. What else, like, do you think needs to be added or like, things you're wondering that
We're going to bring up a lot of stuff that, you know, we used to send home word patterns of the week and do spelling pattern of the week tests, right?
Mhm.
So. Now.
So the suggestion, we don't have spelling, you know, tests. The suggestion is to build your spelling tests if you need to have them around what you're teaching for the week. You know, look at your transfer card, what words are on there. You teach most common words throughout the week, put those on there, put the decodable words that you're spelling. You could even have a passage that you're going to decode for them. You'd still have to build your own that way, but that's a suggestion for Reading Horizons is to take what you're teaching from the transfer cards and you can create a list that way, make it applicable, right? They're not memorizing. I know when I was teaching first grade, a lot of it was like, oh, I knew kids who like memorized the list and who, you know, who actually knew how to spell them, but I don't know if that helps. We don't necessarily have like spelling lists per se, but
So on this cumulative skill check report, I know we can see it for kinder. It's giving us like what the students answered
yes.
for those letter groups. But they're also getting a score. I'm assuming they had more questions than just typing in these words. Because like some of them might have gotten every word right and they're at an 80. Or some of them got every word right and they're at 100. So are there additional questions?
Oh,
Are just
no,
not
there shouldn't
reported?
be. If they have all of them correct, it should be 100%. Is there a
There's
discrepancy
a
in
bunch
that?
of them that are not 100, but they're green all the way across.
Oh, well, they're still high. They're still the needs enrichment group. They just didn't score 100%.
But what did they score 100%?
Oh, right,
Like.
right.
You know, if I look. at
What
all
did
of
they
these
miss?
words,
Mm-hmm.
There had to have been more questions that were missed, right?
If they got, oh, I see on the bottom, all,
Yeah. Person might have missed. Then the 3 letter groups.
well, you don't have that yet, right?
How many questions is there?
But it's all.
Yes, I think it's 10 to 12, isn't it? Or, yeah.
And then you know how they have their basic employers, like the small things. And there was.
Does it still show that they're not? Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm learning with you. Yeah, so that, okay.
Yes, thank you.
I hope that helps. Okay. Okay, please let me know if you have anything else. And honestly, look at that question mark and put your feedback in. Anytime you see something, because we want to make it better. But that, you know, the multi-skill, maybe we can even break that down. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. Nice to meet all of you.
Me too.
Have a good day.
I appreciate you taking our